Malika, I'm told that Stephen Curry has a goal to return to action on Sunday at home against the Houston Rockets. That's what he wants. That's his desire. But the next several days are going to be a vital period to see how does his knee respond to the 5-on-5, to additional workouts over the next several days. This is a big time for Steph Curry to check boxes and see, can he make it back and get clearance to come back Sunday or Tuesday at home against the Kings after 2+ months off. He's had multiple starts and stops throughout this though, Malika. There's been missed targets throughout the last several weeks, but this does feel different internally with the Warriors because now Steph finally got in that
span. Now the Warriors, their opponent tonight, they've gone 9-16 in their last 25 games. Of course, that coincides with Steph Curry missing that time with runner's knee. But it's clear these teams, they're on different paths. They meet tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern. It's on ESPN. San Antonio, they've won 9 straight games, and it's the last 5 wins that have been by at least 15 points, one away from tying the longest streak in team history. And in March, MVP candidate and Defensive Player of the Year favorite, Victor Wembanyama, he became the first player with 50 dunks and 33s in a month since dunks were first tracked in 1997-98. And Golden State, already they're locked into a play-in spot. They are still, though, awaiting the return of that man, Steph Curry. The Warriors are 23-16 with Steph this season, just 13-23 without him. So for more on Steph, we welcome in our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, we heard yesterday from the Golden State Warriors that Steph is able to practice 5-on-5 for the first time. So what does that mean for his timeline to return here?
Malika, I'm told that Stephen Curry has a goal to return to action on Sunday at home against the Houston Rockets. That's what he wants. That's his desire. But the next several days are going to be a vital period to see how does his knee respond to the 5-on-5, to additional workouts over the next several days. This is a big time for Steph Curry to check boxes and see, can he make it back and get clearance to come back Sunday or Tuesday at home against the Kings after 2+ months off. He's had multiple starts and stops throughout this though, Malika. There's been missed targets throughout the last several weeks, but this does feel different internally with the Warriors because now Steph finally got in that 5-on-5 scrimmage. He's encouraged. My understanding is he felt good. He came out of that 5-on-5 well. Internally, the Warriors this week have framed it as a make or break time for Steph Curry to either make it back or get shut down. Stephen Curry is looking at Sunday potentially for his return.
Wow, okay, a make or break timeline here that we could be looking at for Steph Curry as he targets Sunday. Shams, thank you very much. Hey, oh, wait. Hey, Shams, before we let you go, we're getting some news in just this very moment, and I'm hoping you're more deeply sourced than anyone. Sources say, happy birthday, Shams. We appreciate you and all you do for us here on the show. Very, very happy birthday. And, you know, it does make me laugh that it is on April Fool's Day.
I'm getting old.
No, you're not getting old. Look at that hair. We appreciate you. Hey, let's stick with the Golden State Warriors here for more on Steph Curry. We're going to bring in our friend Anthony Slater. Slater, what can you tell us now that we're hearing that Steph is targeting, hoping for Sunday for his return? What's the Warriors' mindset here for the rest of the season?
Well, first of all, I talked to Steph last night. He did say he felt great coming off the scrimmage, but he used the same word with me that he used with you on the sideline weeks ago, which was unpredictable. It really is an unpredictable knee injury. So he's hesitant over the next few days, hoping that the knee, responds well enough for him to get in the game Sunday, Tuesday, and play maybe 4 regular season games before the play. And I do think some people from the outside looking in are saying, why? This kind of is a lost season for the Warriors. They're in the 10th spot. Everything's already gone wrong. Jimmy Butler's out for the year. But I talked a lot to Steph Curry about Draymond Green for a story I have on the site today, and I thought one of the interesting things he said is he's seen Draymond, keep his body ready and play every game this season, and he's around this team, which it's a really dark time for the franchise. They've watched 2 of their players basically carried off the floor with career-altering injuries, and I think he just wants to lift the spirits of this franchise, provide a little light at the end of the tunnel. I don't think there's some idea in his mind they're going to roll off and win the title out of the 10 seed, but I think they believe they can win a play-in game in Portland, they can win a play-in game in Phoenix or LA, and they can get a crack at the defending champs, and I think that's enough for Steph Curry to try to want to get back.
And that right there sums it up why he is so beloved by this franchise, because championships, yes, but it's that mindset of wanting to come back despite the really difficult path that the Golden State Warriors have ahead, to say, hey, you know what, as long as, and you and I have heard this time and time again from this franchise, as long as we have Steph Curry, we like our chances. Maybe not to win the whole thing, but to, like you said, have a crack at the defending champs. Anthony Slater, we appreciate it. update. Slater just mentioned that the Warriors right now, they're looking at that 10th spot. This is the top 10 in the Western Conference. Of course, the Thunder, they lead the Spurs by 2.5 games, really 2 in the loss column because the Spurs have that head-to-head tiebreaker. And then when you're looking at the play-in, it's the Clippers, it's the Trailblazers, it's the Warriors that are locked into the play-in tournament, and the Rockets and Suns, they are jockeying back and forth. But the Warriors, they're trending towards the 10 seed, right? They are trending towards the 10. And keep in mind, only one team has ever gotten out of the 10 seed all the way into the playoffs, just the playoffs at all, and that was the Heat last year.
And it did not go well when they got there.
It didn't go great when they got there. But for the Warriors, I mean, how do you think, Amon, they should be handling the rest of the season after everything we just heard?
Honestly, what have the Warriors not given us in the last few years? Steph Curry, take as much time as you want, get healthy. Like, I didn't expect much from them, you know what I'm saying? Especially with all the injuries they have going on. But I just, would you say a light at the end of the tunnel? I just want to see a light at the end of the tunnel. I just want everybody to walk off this summer and be healthy and then start hearing about improvements for next year from them.
If he wants to play.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's really, he has earned the right to do whatever he wants. And the thing is that he needed this time anyway. It wasn't like they were going to make him play through the knee injury, but they knew that they were locked into the play-in anyway.
Yeah.
So they had the ability to let him recover while also not letting their standings hurt that bad. And look, they've had so many bad things happen to them this year.
Yeah, it's been a tough season.
Why not
end on joy, right? Why not end on a little bit of joy here? And Golden State, they had been hoping to keep in that 7-8 play-in bracket. It's not going to happen. They are locked into that 9-10 play-in bracket, and so now we see what happens. I did think it was interesting. Shams said, though, this is the make or break. He's targeting Sunday, but this has been really unpredictable. It's been really up and down. So if he's not able to go this Sunday, this is the time when they could also say, all right, this was your goal, we didn't meet it, and let's see what happens next. So let's focus on the San Antonio Spurs side of all of this, right? Because they've won 14 straight games when Victor plays. But there's something that league insiders are talking about with Victor. What is that?
First off, they need to win tonight's game. They're going to be highly incentivized to take care of it because they're in a dogfight for the number 1 seed.
They are.
Secondly, at some point here, Victor Wembanyama's minutes are going to be coming into really focus.
Explain.
They have not played him much this year, okay? He's averaged less than 30 minutes a game. When he came back from the calf injury, they were playing him just over 20. And he's put up incredible numbers. Now, when they've played important games like Detroit or Oklahoma City, they've pushed out to 35, 37. So here's the question. When we get into the playoffs, you know they're going to push his minutes out, right? They're not going to put him on the bench in the fourth quarter of a close game. When he gets to 38 minutes or so, is he going to turn into an unstoppable force because they're playing him 7-8 more minutes? Or is somebody who's never played that kind of minutes over the course of tough playoff games, which minutes are even harder, is he going to have a downside? That's one of the unknown things that hangs over the Western Conference playoffs.
So he has not touched 40 minutes in a game this season, Iman.
Oh.
What if the biggest turning point of the Warriors season is not a game, not a trade, not even a win, but one rehab session from Steph Curry? Ha! Because that is where we are right now, Dub Nation. One strong 5-on-5 scrimmage, one positive internal feeling, one target date on the horizon, and suddenly the whole energy around Golden State feels different. According to the ESPN segment, Steph is targeting Sunday against the Rockets, and internally this week has been framed as make or break for whether he can return or potentially get shut down if the knee does not respond the right way. Shams said Steph felt good coming out of that 5-on-5, and Anthony Slater added that Steph himself said he felt great, even while still describing the knee as unpredictable. And that word right there, unpredictable? That's the part that keeps every Warriors fan holding their breath, because this is not just soreness you tape up and grind through. Reuters reported Curry has been dealing with patellofemoral pain syndrome and bone bruising in the right knee, and that the Warriors said his next major step was live 5-on-5 work before another evaluation this week. The San Francisco Chronicle then reported that Curry did rejoin practice, got through drills and scrimmage work, and is now eyeing Sunday as a possible return date, even though Kerr already ruled him out for San Antonio and listed him doubtful for Cleveland. So yes, this is progress, real progress, but it is still progress with tension attached. Now here is why this update feels bigger than just Steph might be back. The Warriors are a completely different organism with him. The ESPN discussion laid it out clean. Golden State is 23-16 with Steph this season and just 13-23 without him. That is not a small swing. That is a whole season changing shape around one player. And the old NBC sports discussion we broke down earlier made another key point. Steph does not just make the Warriors better in the obvious superstar way. He makes everybody else more dangerous. He makes Porzingis harder to guard because defenses can't load the paint as easily. He makes DeAnthony Melton's life easier because Melton stops facing the top perimeter stopper every night. He makes Podziemski's reads cleaner, Draymond's two-man game sharper, and the floor wider for everyone. That is why I keep saying this is not rescue mode. This is ignition mode because the Warriors have not completely died while Steph has been out. They've been bleeding, yes. They're stuck in the 10 seed, yes. They are locked into the 9-10 play-in bracket, yes. But SHAMS said something that really hit me. Steph does not think he is coming back to run from the 10 seed to a title. He wants to lift the spirit of the franchise, give them light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe help them win a play-in game or two to get one shot at the defending champs. Yeah, that is why this guy is beloved. That is why Dub Nation rides with him forever. He knows the road is ugly, and he still wants to suit up for the fight. And honestly, the timing makes this even more compelling. The Chronicle also reported that Kerr called the team's current moment emotionally dark after two players suffered major injuries, and that Curry's presence around the team has become a source of lift all by itself. That lines up with what Reuters noted. The Warriors are running out of regular season games, so if Curry returns, they want him back before the play-in so he can regain rhythm and real competition. Ha, that's the whole game here. This is not just about getting him medically available. This is about getting him game ready fast enough to matter. So my favorable Warriors conclusion is this. The fact that we are even having this conversation means the Golden State survived long enough for the good news to matter. They kept the season breathing. They held on to the play-in. They preserved a runway. And now, if Steph's knee responds the way he hopes, the entire mood changes overnight. Not because the Warriors suddenly become title favorites, but because they become dangerous again. Dangerous in one game. Dangerous in one series. Dangerous in the way only a Steph Curry team can be. Tell me what you think, Dub Nation. If Steph comes back Sunday, how far can this team realistically push? Drop your opinion in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and stay locked in because this is the kind of breaking news that can flip a season in a heartbeat.